Okay. All right, we're going to start in mountain pose. So come on to the center of your mat, ground those feet, spread your toes, shoulder width apart, feet are right underneath your hip points. Lift the crown of head to the sky, shoulders down and relaxed, away from the ears. And maybe just lean a little bit forward on your toes, kind of find your center, maybe a little bit back, a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, just kind of finding equal weight distribution in both of your legs, in both halves of your body. Okay, let's close our eyes and just tune in. Inhale, sweep the arms down, around, and up, hands overhead to prayer. Exhale, thumbs to heart center. One more time, inhale, down, around, and up. Hands to heart center. Let's do one more. Inhale, down, around, and up. Hands to prayer. Exhale, thumbs land at heart center. Okay, we're going to start with banana in a standing position. So this one's going to challenge your balance a little bit. So I'm going to do my left leg first. So kind of shift your weight onto your left foot. And then crossing over at the ankles. And imagine just like when we're laying down, okay? So now if this is enough of a balance challenge for you here, and you need to add a little wall, you want to go over the wall and do this, that might be a good idea. So if you're feeling a little wobbly, just come on over to your wall, cross the ankles, and then we can reach over and make that C shape. Okay, if you're feeling pretty stable and you want to give it a try without hanging on, sweep those arms up and over, and left hand grabbing the right wrist, just leaning over, making that C-shaped curve. And this is going to challenge us here as we're trying to do a little bit of a balance. So keeping the arms by the ears. You could also grab on opposite elbows. But what you really want to feel is that nice pull all the way down your side body, kind of right down to your hip, really. Try to imagine yourself kind of like between those two panes of glass. So we're not leaning forward. Trying to stand up quite tall, actually, and then just working into that side bend. And we're not going to hold this for a full 3 because this is quite challenging. So hopefully you're hanging in though. Take some deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. Okay. So about half time. So come on back to center, arms overhead, and sweep those back down. Uncross the feet. And then we're going to switch sides. So left ankle over right. You want to have your feet kind of snug together. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. You can do interlaced fingers and just lean over if you want to grab left wrist with right hand. And making a circle around your wrist, give it a little extra tug. Or maybe you want to use the grip of opposite elbows. Deep side stretch with a balance challenge. Right about now, you're probably thinking, I like banana better on the floor. Arms up by the ears. Again, you could be using the wall. Okay, inhale, arms back overhead. Exhale, uncross those legs. How was that? Who knows, right? We'll hear later. Okay, we're going to go to dangling next. So hands on hips, reground those feet, spread the toes. Do this for me too, right before we go down. Like lift your toes way high into the air and then land them back down on the mat. And then just take a quick look down there and kind of make sure they line up so the feet are both in the same position. All right, soft bend in the knees, hinge forward at the hips, come halfway first, and then exhale again, bringing the crown of head down. Remember to keep your knees as bent as you want, but you are going for a nice stretch in the back of the legs, those hamstrings. So blocks are great here, depending on what height you want them at. You can go low, medium, high, whatever feels good. But just remember, crown of head parallel to the floor. So think of your head like a heavy bowling ball. And don't let those shoulders, fall too close to the ears. Retract them back a little bit, okay? So we don't want to collapse up there. And as we're coming into this, let's do a little shake of the head, side to side. Shake the head no, nod it yes. Loosen up any tension you're feeling in the neck. Maybe you're going to find that your hands come a little closer to the floor now. Maybe you want to roll your blocks into a different position if you're using blocks. Or maybe you want to go a little deeper into that knee bend. Looking for that stretch from the sit bones clear down to the Achilles. And breathe. Nice. Slowing everything down here. Making sure we won't have any restless legs tonight. Keep breathing. Tune in to all the little sensations you're feeling down the back of your legs. I just read in the yoga book that I'm reading that going upside down is good for so much, obviously getting us some stress relief, but sleeping better. Also, even some anti-aging benefits in the fact that, although I hate that word anti-aging, but in the fact that you're going upside down, so you're kind of fighting your wrinkles right here. You're reversing gravity. Okay, plant those hands. And nice and slow, we're going to heel toe our feet apart. Come on down into that yogi squat. Ooh, recalibrate because we were just upside down. So remember, we move nice and slow. It's okay if your heels lift off the ground a little bit here. Try to bring your hands to prayer if you can. You can sit on a block if you like that. Going for that feeling of being between two panes of glass again. So try to sit up nice and tall. Lift that crown of the head. Just using this as a nice little counter pose as we're coming out from being upside down. Okay. So I pulled a little card today right before we started. I have these affirmation cards that I love. And another way to kind of keep yourself focused during yin, to kind of bring yourself inward and your attention inward, besides feeling what we feel, all those little sensations, and besides working on our breath, the third thing you can do is kind of hold a mantra or a thought. You know, it could be as simple as one word like breathe or calm or balance, or it can be a short little phrase. And I saw one, I pulled this one that said, I always find ways to get back on track. And I thought, if that works for you, maybe that's something you can repeat as we move along tonight and we're holding our poses. All right, let's come on out down to our seat. And we're going to do ankle to knee, but we're going to do it seated this time. So knees are bent. Give my legs a little hug to kind of sit up nice and tall first. And I'm going to do right over left. So I'm going to lean back a little bit. Bring that right leg up. Cross it over my left knee. And you'll see how, think about when we do this laying down, it's pretty much the exact same pose, but you don't really have gravity helping you out here. So now you might have to give it a little bit more of a push with your elbows. Okay, so kind of straighten the arms behind you, going for that outside hip stretch. And if you're sitting here like this right now and you're like, this is not doing anything for me. What the heck is this supposed to do? I have a trick. Lean back, bring your foot that's on the ground closer to your bum. Now, I'm guessing you're going to feel something. Okay, so see what that does for you. So find your juicy stretch, find what feels good for you. Top foot is just flopping there. Don't have to flex point, nothing fancy. I always find ways to get back on track. You want to add a little neck stretch here. I just noticed that that seemed to feel good for me. So glancing over my right shoulder right now. We'll hold that for a little bit. And I'm going to turn to the left. Again, just another reminder of how you get to craft your yin practice. You get to decide just exactly what feels right for you, what gives you your personal edge, when to go deeper, when to back off. Just listen. Listen to the body. All right, head back to center. Okay, we're going to switch sides. So let's uncross that leg and we'll give our knees a little hug before we go into the other leg. And rock it on back. Left knee, I'm sorry, left ankle over right knee. And then pressing up. Oh, as soon as I do that, I can immediately feel that in my hip. Hopefully you can too. Kind of sitting up nice and tall in that upper body. Relax that left foot. And again, if you need a little more, bring your heel closer to your bum, that bottom foot. This is a great one to do. You could do this just watching television at night, you know. Just set a little timer on your watch, your phone. All these ways to sneak a little extra yin in. Last week I talked about waking up in the morning, and sometimes it just feels good to do a little happy baby right in your bed before you even get up, or a little spinal twist. Maybe you picked a mantra, repeat that to yourself, and breathe. Maybe closing your eyes. All right, lean back on those hands a little bit and uncross that leg. Give those knees a little hug. Sit up tall. And we're going to go into deer. So this is the one where I think I talked to you about it 2 weeks ago, and I'm not sure if you guys remember or not, but we're going to kind of lay our knees to the side, and we're going to have our front shin parallel to the short edge of the mat. And then we're going to try to make a little 90-degree square, kind of looking down at your legs. So your knee is pointing towards the long edge, your other leg pointing toward the long edge of the mat. And then you can kind of decide if it feels okay to bring that shin a little more parallel to the long side of the mat, do it. If that does not feel comfortable, this is an internal hip rotation. So you're going to definitely feel this because this is a position we don't go in a lot. So you can stay right here. You can stay up. But the full expression of the pose is to kind of twist your body over the front leg towards the back, towards the back position. So you can stay up high if this feels good right here. You're also adding a nice little twist here. Remember, twists for digestion, which is awesome. You can go ahead and try to come and like lay down over that knee. Bring your blocks maybe underneath your elbows. I feel like I need to turn and do this one. Go the other way. So kind of a twist in formula here. If that just feels like too much on that internal hip rotation, then just back off, you know, and stay whatever feels comfortable. You may find you need to bring your foot a little bit closer to your bum too. So kind of decide what feels good here. You don't want to have any pain, obviously. So see if you can work to kind of soften those legs. We don't do a lot to, you know, turn our hips forward or making them rotate internally. That's just not a common position to be in. So you can see why that probably is great for the fascia because it never does that. So this can help those tendons and ligaments. So I'm feeling it in my hip. I'm feeling it a little bit in my midsection with the twist too. I've got the spinal twist happening. If it feels better to stay up high, that's good too. I feel more internal rotation actually when I'm up high than when I lay down. I don't know about you. Depends kind of on your anatomy. And males and females are different here too, so because our hips are different. All right. Okay, let's loosen those up and then let's windshield wiper those legs before we do the other side. So little windshield wiper knees. Go fast, you can go slow, whatever feels good here. This right here, if deer is not working for you, this right here is internal rotation when you're dropping that leg down on each side. So you can always do windshield wipers as well. Okay, switching sides. So for me, that's my right shin going parallel to the short side of the mat. And then making my 90-degree bends here, deciding if I want to parallel the left shin with the long side of the mat or not. Again, the heel can come closer to your bum there if that feels more comfortable. But then I'm going to sit up tall and take a twist towards the back. Come on down. And then just don't forget to check in with your jaw here too. Don't want to be gripping. So maybe open your mouth really wide and then let it go. Keep some length in the back of your neck. So dip your chin a little bit. And work to find that internal rotation feeling. I'm going to come back upright because I just think that works a little better for me. And this is a great place to feel your belly breathing. So feel that inhale, inflate. Exhale, almost squeezing the belly button towards the spine. On that exhale, empty out all the stale air. Inhale, inflate. Exhale, pull the belly button towards the spine. And that's 3 minutes. So gently come back around because that was a pretty deep twist. If you were adding that twist part, back to some windshield wiper knees here. And we're going to move into butterfly next. So you might want to have some props here on butterfly. You might want to be sitting up a little bit on a blanket or a cushion if that feels good. You can always do butterfly boosted, bringing the soles of the feet together. You can use blocks under those knees too to make this as easeful as possible as you're coming into that stretch. So you're going to feel this no matter what. If your knees are high, if your knees are down low, you're going to feel it. So sitting up nice and tall, grab onto the shins, and then kind of walking yourself forward, trying to keep a nice, long spine. So we're not rounding here. Maybe you want to clasp your hands over your toes. My toes are a little cold, so that feels kind of nice. And make those adjustments here in this first part of the pose. Maybe my blocks are a little too high. I can get a better stretch with a little bit lower block. Dip the chin slightly. Tongue is resting on the back of the front teeth. Gaze is soft, looking probably about right at your toes, or maybe a little bit forward of that. Or close your eyes to go inward even further. Feel the feels. This one is all about that inner thighs and groin. I always find ways to get back on track. That one's working for me tonight. Check your shoulders too. Make sure that they're not up by your ears. Create some space. Find that stillness. Bite the fidget. that is where the magic happens. When we just hold. Nice. That's 3. All right, use your palms to press back up. Maybe slide your blocks out if you're using blocks or pillows under your knees. Give those knees a little hug. Okay. All right, we're going to do supported fish tonight. So that's the one that is propping underneath your mid-back region. So I like my big bolster for this one. If you do have a really big pillow that you can shove underneath there. The arm cushion of a couch works great for this one because it's kind of long and skinny. And then you're just going to put that right up by your seat. And then we're going to roll it down nice and slow. But we're going to create that arch because supported fish is about stretching right across that lung meridian, right across the chest. So coming like right out of your sternum. You can keep your knees bent here. Or if you want to straighten, that's up to you. I think bent is feeling good for me. Arms can tee it out to the sides. You can kind of decide if you want your arms a little bit lower, more hands towards hips. Maybe bring them up straight out into the T. See how that feels. Maybe they need to go even a little bit higher, a little bit more like a Y shape. You pick. Wherever you feel that awesome stretch across your chest. Maybe I will try my legs straight out. Let's find our breath again. Inhaling, exhaling, nice and slow. With our prop, this is a really great place to work on 3-part breathing. So you inhale, inflate the low belly first, kind of work it in thirds. Low belly about a third, then the ribs open wide, the next third, then into the upper chest for that final third. Pause and let it go. Okay. I find the best way out of this one is to just roll off to whichever side works for you. And then we can kind of push our prop out of the way. And we'll come right back down onto our back. Oh, I'm going to use my toe to grab my strap first because we're going to go 2 legs up the wall. Okay, so we'll center ourselves on the mat, knees bent. And I'm going to take my strap kind of somewhere in the middle, press the ball of my right foot there. If you grabbed it for the left, don't worry about it. Switch sides. We'll do both. So, sole of foot going towards the sky. You can keep this the opposite knee bent and the foot on the ground on the mat, or if you prefer, you can extend that leg straight out. And I'm going to let you pick, as per usual, what you like here. Do you want more of a deep knee bend, almost like that happy baby kind of pose? Does it feel better to stretch it more straight, but don't lock your knee, keep it soft? How about out to the side? Use that strap. Ooh, that's feeling pretty good tonight. And I'm also going to test a little internal rotation. Also feels good. But I think tonight I'm going to go with a little external rotation and bring that leg out over the side of my mat. And remember to think about anchoring that opposite hip down to the ground. So you don't want to be rolling off to the side. Don't go that far. You want to keep that left hip, in my case, if you're got the right foot in the air, the left hip grounded, anchored. Okay, coming into some stillness now. Hopefully you found a place that feels good. And let's work on the hold. And our breathing. And maybe our mantra. Closing your eyes and using that mantra and focusing on your breathing, whether you're doing equal count or 3 parts, or just letting yourself breathe naturally at a slow pace. All of these things are bringing us so close to a meditation practice. I think it counts, actually. All right, let's bring that leg back to center. Bend that knee to release. And place that foot back down on the ground. Keep that knee bent while we grab for the opposite leg. So I'm going to the left now. Strap on the ball of the foot, kind of up by the big toe mound. And if you want to extend the bottom leg straight, go for it. Find what feels good. Again, this could be completely different on this side. So You figure out what you want to do with this left side. So just like in dangling, do you remember how we felt that sensation all the way down the back of our legs, definitely up in the hamstrings? That's a big reason why we're doing this pose as well. So you've got that same little sensation going down the back of those legs. Make it a little quiver, getting a little quiver going, especially on this left side. So that's okay. Quiver's okay, just no pain. That tells you stuff is releasing. All right, opposite side done. Bend the knee, release the strap. And let's just give ourselves a nice big good morning stretch here. So point the toes, arms up overhead. Somebody came in to visit. And we're going to go into our spinal twist and then Shavasana. So just two poses left. All right, so let's bend our knees. And I'm going to do crossing right leg over left and lowering those knees down to my left side. And remember to prop up whatever you want, you guys. If you want some pillows underneath your legs, if you want to just stack your knees and not cross them and release them down, you can do that. I'm going to go with crossed legs. And I'm going to go with a little cushion under my knees, which feels good. But reminding you to keep your shoulders flat, down, melting into the mat. Maybe you're going with cactus or goalpost shaped arms here. And making this nice and soothing and easeful. And check and see if you want to add the head turn in the opposite direction of the knees. No worries if you don't. Maybe you're not feeling great with those goalpost arms. Maybe you just want to rest your hands on your belly. It's all good. Maybe you're feeling so twisty now because of our deer pose that you want to straighten the bottom leg. Give just a little bit of an extra spinal twist there. Gosh, this is feeling really good today. I like it. You guys know me now. You know that if we're in spinal twist, probably go into Shavasana next. I think it's a great way to move into corpse pose, is just doing this spinal twist. It's my signature. Uh-huh. Could have stayed longer, but that was 3. So bring your head back first if you added that neck twist. And then bring your legs back to center. Bend both knees first, feet flat on the mat first. Kind of recenter yourself on your mat before you do the other side. So crossing left leg over right. Getting my pillow prop ready for my knees. And gently lowering those knees down onto my pillow. Taking a deep breath, inhale, exhale. Pick your arms. Here comes my assistant. Hi, Finny. And check in about that next stretch and see if that feels like something you want to add. So turning your head in the opposite direction of your knees, only if it feels good. And maybe you want to straighten out that bottom leg a little bit. Only if you can keep your shoulders heavy on the mat, though. How is that physical body feeling? Hopefully a little bit better than where we started. How about the mind? Are we staying with the sensation? Are we staying with the breath? Are we staying with our mantra? Are we staying present in this very moment? because whatever's out there will be there later. And that's 3. Bring the head back first if you added the neck stretch, and then the legs. Okay, Shavasana. So you can decide if you want a pillow under your head, if you want, maybe you want to prop under your knees. Sometimes that feels nice. Maybe you want to keep the knees bent, knees to touch with your pinky toes kind of outside the edges of your mat. That works too. Check and make sure you have a little bit of space that you can reach underneath your low back. So the low back is not, flat onto the mat. We have a little bit of a curve there, a little bit of a pelvic tilt. And then tuck the shoulder blades a bit and arms out to the sides, palms facing up. Let's turn your head a little bit left to right. Just release any last little bits of tension you're feeling in the neck and let it kind of settle in the middle. Nice neutral spine. And let's just do a little body scan here. Let's start down at the feet. Just wiggle the toes and relax those feet. Let those feet just flop out to the sides, however they feel natural. Relax the calves. Let go of anything you're feeling in the knees. Soften the thighs, the hips heavy, sinking into the mat. Hands relaxed. Shoulders melting right in. Relax your neck, your jaw. Soften the face. Soften the forehead. And just breathe at your own pace. No need to shape anything here. Just soaking it in. Okay, come back. Wiggle the fingers. Wiggle the toes. Flutter the eyes open. And nice and slow, gently rolling over onto your side. Using your arm as a pillow for your head. Take a deep inhale. One more big breath in there. Exhale. Pressing yourself back up when you're empty. Coming back to that comfortable cross-legged position. Easy sit, Sukhasana. Hands to heart center. Oh, look at Finny. Thanks for being here, guys. Thanks for practicing. Namaste.
Thanks, Lori.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hope you
You're
had
the
have a
best,
good
Lori.
evening.
Oh,
Take care,
what
all.
are you gonna do? Yeah. It's like, thanks. We'll see you next Monday. Have a great week, everyone. Thanks,
Bye.
You
Lori.
as well.
Thank
Take
you,
Bye-bye.
care.
Lori.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thanks.